Hey, my friend, welcome to the Art of Online Business podcast. My name is Rick Mulready, and I'm an online business coach. I'm an ads expert, and most importantly, I'm a dad. And this show is where we help established online course creators and coaches create more profit, more impact with less hustle. All right, let's get into it. Hey, what's up, my friend? Welcome to episode number 619 here on the show. I'm your host, Rick Mulready, and this is another quick tip episode here on the show. 619 episodes. As I say that out loud, it's just like, that's a lot of episodes. Been doing this for a long time. And I also feel, and I know this, I say this a lot, but I feel like I'm just getting started here on the podcast. I have a really cool idea of some different episodes I'm going to start doing here on the show that I think you're really going to like. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Today, I want to kind of ruffle some feathers, and that is the topic around social media. My friend, you do not need social media to grow your business. And here's where this is coming from. So recently, I asked my members of our accelerator coaching program the question, why do you do social media for your business? And one of my jobs when I'm coaching is to ask questions like this, ask questions that get to the core of whatever it is that someone's asking me. And so I asked the members of Accelerator this question after somebody asked me, what kind of KPIs, key performance indicators, would I recommend that this person have for their new social media person that they were hiring? And so naturally, I respond with a question, again, because I want to get to the core of what's being asked here. And so I asked this person, I said, well, what results are you wanting from this social media person? More specifically, what results do you want from this role of social media in your business? What do you want them to be responsible for? In other words, what was the reason that they were hiring them? After all, we sometimes look at hiring people, by the way, without a clear result that you're hiring for. And hiring somebody to manage your social media is no different. You have to be able to know what results that you're wanting from a specific role. And so I asked this person this exact question when it came to, hey, what kind of KPIs do I recommend for this new social media role that they were hiring? Because let's face it, more followers, follower count, number of likes, for example, those aren't reasons. Those aren't KPIs. Sure, you can have them in there, but those are just vanity metrics and they mean nothing. I would much rather have 1,000 followers on TikTok or Instagram or what have you who are very, very engaged than 10,000 followers on Instagram or TikTok and, it's crickets. So those are just vanity numbers. What do they really, truly mean? Okay. So when I asked our accelerator members this question, here are some of the responses I got when I asked them. Number one, to grow my audience and connect with people in the DMs for personalized conversations. So look at that right there. That's very broad. To grow my audience, to grow my social media audience, to grow my podcast audience, to grow my YouTube subscribers, to grow my email list. So that's kind of broad, right? So we want to get very specific on what that means. Connect with people in DMs for personalized conversations. Okay, cool. So we could put a KPI on that as long as there's a clear result that we're looking for from having conversations in the DMs with people. Another person said 4 things as to why they do social media. Best lead generator ever, to listen to my audience so that I know their needs and struggles, to serve them with free content and support them, and to sell. Great responses right there. I'll come back to this. Another person said, because I feel like I have to, and I wouldn't be on it at all otherwise. I wonder how many of you would answer that way, this question that way. Well, I feel like I have to. Everybody's saying I have to, so that's why I do it. Another person said, because I always have, question mark. but also it helps me nurture my audience and get leads onto my email list. Another person said, lead generation, brand awareness, help my audience. So just as a quick note there, if those were your three results that you're looking for from social media, how would you be measuring that? Well, lead gen, pretty basic to be able to track that. So that's great. You can have specific URLs with UTM tracking codes in there. With brand awareness, help my audience, that's a little bit, more nebulous, but you could still come up with some KPIs there. Another person said, I use social media to build trust, lead gen, and getting followers on our email list. So very similar to the previous response. So as you can see here, there's a mix of very clear results being achieved through social media. And then there's others that are doing it simply because everyone says that you need to. And then there are others who are doing it without clear definitions of success, of why they're doing social media. And I'm here to tell you right now, my friend, that you do not need social media to grow your business. You don't need my permission, but I'm here to tell you that you do not need social media. And just a caveat here, I'm talking organic. A lot of people group like Facebook and Instagram ads or, TikTok ads or what have you into social media. I'm not looking at social media in that way. I'm talking organic, right? Like you're building an Instagram following or posting on Facebook or posting on TikTok or what have you, or on Twitter. I've always done a terrible job with social media. And that's a story for a different time. I actually want to, but I've always done a terrible job. I've never leveraged social media as a big part of growing my business. So I'm one example of where you don't need social media to grow your business. And I can rattle off a list right now. I won't, but I can, of 7 and 8 figure business owners who do no social media at all. They just don't believe in it. They're like, I don't want to be there. So they don't do social media. And they have massive businesses where they're making massive impact and adding huge value to the world. Now, with that said, can social media help you grow your business? Of course it can. When you have a clear strategy, though, of why you are doing social media in your business, right? So for example, like building a relationship with your audience, social media can be a great way to show people who you are behind the scenes of your life, show them what your values are, etc. And then vice versa, it can help you get to know your audience through comments maybe that they make and you starting conversations and DMs and so forth. It can be great for lead generation. It can be great for serving your audience with helpful content. It can be great for creating a feedback loop with your followers for getting insight into what they're struggling with. What are they talking about right now? Asking for their feedback on things. It can be great for selling too. And these are all great reasons to use social media, but you've got to be very clear on the results that you're looking to create and have specific metrics that you're shooting for based on these specific results that you're going for. Because when you have specific results that you're going for and you have metrics that you're trying to meet, i.e. your KPIs, and you're not creating the results that you want, well, then you get to review and optimize and test something new. But my friend, I'm here to tell you that you do not need to be doing social media to grow your business. When I got the answer back from the person who said, when I asked, why do you do social media? They said, because I feel like I have to. I wouldn't be on it at all otherwise. I dug into this a little bit because I was really, really interested. And they said, I just can't stand it. I don't spend time myself on social media. And it's just an energy suck if I were to have to go on there. And when I do post on there simply because I feel like I need to, it just drains their energy. And so I said, well, what if you stopped doing it? What if you didn't do it anymore? Again, another one of my jobs when I'm coaching, I'm questioning everything because I'm here to help you create the most leverage in your business. And they said, if I didn't have to do social media, you could tell like it was like, what is this utopia that you speak of? And they said, I would have so much more energy and like emotional and physical energy, meaning like I'm not getting dragged down by what I'm in here doing, not hating this. So they said it would free up so much time, physical time to do other things and space in their head to think about other things, think about other ways that they can be serving their customers or growing their business or taking care of themselves or their family or hanging out with their partner, whatever it might be. Right. And you could tell when I was like, well, what if you didn't do this? It was just a big collective, like, you know? So I hope for you personally, if, you know, for some of you, I hope this takes the pressure off. If you happen to feel like you have to do social media and you just hate the process and it drains the energy out of you, I want to challenge you and question you. Do you have to be doing it in your business? And the answer is no. You can have a very successful business without doing social. And, you know, can you hire somebody to do it? For sure. But again, if you do that, you have to have very clear results that person is responsible for. Growing your Instagram following from 10,000 to 15,000 is not like, again, it's a vanity metric. Is that a clear result? Sure, it's very measurable, but is that truly moving your business forward? No, I'm here to tell you it's not, right? But again, if it makes sense for your business, if you have clear results, if you have clear metrics tied to those results, and you are paying attention to it, and this is a form of marketing that you're wanting to test out, by all means. We're going to be talking a lot more. I say this, and then we're going to be talking a lot more about TikTok on the podcast here coming up, because this is a major, major opportunity for so many people who are doing social media, who are tired of, Facebook and Instagram and wanting to be at sort of like, I'm looking at TikTok as Facebook 10 years ago, or even Instagram when it first came. Obviously different platforms, obviously, but so much opportunity there. But anyway, you do not have to be on any of these platforms in order to have a successful business. That is my takeaway for you here today. Thank you, my friend, for listening to the podcast here. As always, I appreciate you. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button or follow on whatever podcasting platform that you listen on. I appreciate that, so that you don't miss any episodes here of the podcast. Until next time, my friend, be well, and I'll talk to you soon.